Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn how to prepare stock inventory under two methods, that is FIFO and LIFO in Tally. So FIFO is nothing but first in first out. So it means the inventory that the company is buying first will also be sold first. Here LIFO means last in first out. It means the inventory the company is buying at the last will be sold first. Here I have taken a very simple sum here. Let's see the sum. The following particulars are given below. The stocks of Philips light bulbs as on 1st April 2012 was 200 units at rupees 2 each. The following purchases and sales were made subsequently. Prepare the store's ledgers account showing how the value of the stock will be recorded in both the methods, that is FIFO and LIFO methods. Here the transactions are given. Normally in a company, instead of the serial numbers, the dates will be given. Okay, for trial, we have just taken the sum and I have not just numbered it. And here we are starting with the opening balances and the particulars of purchases. 3 times the purchases were made and 4 times the sales were made, and what are the amount of units that we have sold, and what is the per unit price is also given. So now let's see how to do FIFO and LIFO method stock ledger account under Tally. So I'm just going to start with creation of a company. So let's just click Alt plus F3. I'm just going to create stores ledger, and let's just select the basic details. Make sure you click this accounts with inventory option here, otherwise we cannot enter the inventory items here. So our new company is open. Okay, so first let's start with creating just 4 different kinds of ledgers that is needed for the sum. So let's go to accounts info, ledgers. I'm going to create under multiple ledgers. We are going to just create 4 different types of ledgers. First we'll start with Shah and company. This person will be our sundry debtor or buyer. Let's not give any kind of opening balances. Next will be our star traders, and this person will be our sundry creditor, our seller. And again, opening balance, nothing. Next will be sales. That will be created under sales. And the next one, the last one will be purchases. That will also be created under purchases. So now I'm going to move on and just accept it and save the different types of ledgers we have created. Now let's move on to creating the inventory info. Let's go to the inventory info. Let's start with the unit of measures. Since these are light bulbs, let's just measure it by numbers. So I'm just going to give the short form and give the full form here and give accept. Let's go back. Now let's create the stock group. So the Philips light bulbs, right? So it will come under electronics. So let's go and create electronics. It's a primary group and the items will be added S. Click OK. We have also created stock group. Let's create now the stock item. That is our Philips bulb. Philips bulb. Okay, I'm just going to create it from the first. It will come under electronics, again in the number. And here is the important thing. If we go back, we can see the opening balance was given as 200 units at rupees 2 each. So we are going to enter this 200 units at rupees 2 each. The value is automatically calculated and just click yes. And now we have created all the basics that is needed. If we go back to the sum, we have like 7 more transactions to enter. So we are obviously going to need the vouchers. So I'm just going to click accounting vouchers. So it will start with purchases voucher. We have made 3 purchases, right? 1, 2, and 3. Normally, not all the type of purchases will be made at the same date. So here, if you see, we can actually change the date one by one. Since here we don't have dates given in the sum, and also it's very difficult to go back and set the dates, I'm just going to enter the vouchers one by one. So let's start with the first one. We are going to buy from the Star Traders purchases account. So the first transaction is 100 units at 2 rupees and 20 paise. So Philips 100 units, it's 2.2 and enter. So the next voucher is for 150 units at 2.4 each. So same trader I'm going to buy it from. Again the purchases later, and it's Philips 150 units at 2.4. So I'm just going to save this voucher also. Yes. Now the third one, it's 180 units at 2.5 each. So again, it's from the Star Traders. Again purchases, again Philips bulbs, 180 item at 2.5 each. So we have done all the transactions under the purchases voucher. Next, let's move on to the sales voucher. We have 4 more transactions to do. So it's all plus F8. Again here, since we are selling it, we are going to select our sundry data, that is Shah company. Just click enter for all the details and sales here. Now first, we are going to sell 150 units at 2.8. So here Philips bulb, 150 units at 2.8 per bulb. So enter it. The next voucher again, the party name is Shan Company. Please don't like confuse between the Sunday debtor and creditor. Next, the sales, again the Philips bulb. And if you go back and see, it's 100 units at 2.9. So 100 units at 2.9. So we're just going to save this voucher also. Again, next, Shine Company is our buyer. Just going to enter all the details. Here sales, and here again Philips bulbs. And the third will be 100 units at rupees 3. So 100 units at rupees 3. So just click enter, and we are going to now do the last voucher. Again, Shan Company. So you have different sellers that is given in the sum. You can select them also. Now go to sales, and here Philips. And if you see, the amount is 200 units at 3.2. So 200 units at 3.2. Take everything and click enter. Okay, so according to the sum, we have entered all the details, including our opening balance and all the 7 transactions. Now let's see how Tally shows us the different types of sales ledgers under both the methods that we have asked for. And for this, now go to here under the reports, go to this profit and loss account. Here, if you see the closing stock that is defaultly created by Tally is 181.59. So this is the default that Tally will be creating by taking balances of all the different priced items, and it has created. Now I want it in both methods, that is FIFO and LIFO method, right? So I'm just going to click here. Either you just click F7 or click valuation here. And if you see, it is under this method called default method. Here first I'm going to click FIFO. So if you see under FIFO method, the actual closing stock is 200. So it is nothing but the first inventory that came inside the company, it is actually sold. So balance, they have like only 200 items here. And again, if you want to see the LIFO method, I'm going to click the valuation. Here you have something called LIFO annual and LIFO perpetual. So let's just click LIFO perpetual for now. And if you see, the closing stock actually changes. It's now 160 items. Since this method uses the last inventory, that the recent inventory that is bought by the company will be sold first. Now, if you go back and see under stock summary, you can actually see all these types of methods. I'm going to add new columns to just compare the different types of stock accounts under all these 3 methods. One is default method by the Tally, one is FIFO, and one is LIFO. So here I'm going to click Alt plus C or new column and just click Stores Ledger. Here electronic is the same thing. Here under this I'm going to click FIFO. And here if you see, this one is the default one. Here, and if you see here, the FIFO answer will be given, and the stock value and the quantity and everything actually differentiate. Again, let's compare with the LIFO also. So just going to create a new column here. Again, just give enter. And under the method of valuation, let's just select LIFO perpetual. So if you see the final result, this is the default option given under Tally, and this is under FIFO method, and this is under LIFO method. And see the different valuations that is taken. So either a company can use whatever the methods they want. They can actually see the comparison between all these columns and how the valuation of the closing stocks held at the end of the period. So this is how you create LIFO and FIFO methods in Tally. Thank you for listening.